If you go back over my old videos, the ones that are not in HD, you'll probably hear me talking about how I don't believe in the word addiction. I had like a hundred response comment war with people on those videos. So I've said I don't believe in addiction, and what I'm about to tell you is why. On the show The Doctors, they had a pepper garlic spray that kicks you in the pant but clears your sinuses. A woman caller came on that says she uses it several times a week to clear her allergies, and she swears by it. Every single doctor on the show responded, "Don't use it too often, or you'll become addicted." And that's exactly why I don't believe in the word. I think it's just a lazy way of explaining psychologically getting used to. The same exact symptoms occur when you break up with someone you're infatuated with, as when you stop something you're addicted to. Exactly the same, laying up in bed, wheezy, crying, stuffy nose, shaking, etc. You cannot even distinguish between lovesick and cocaine withdrawals. We simply don't have a clue about the human brain to even predict any of this. I'm sure you've known of a person who was lovesick. Maybe went over to bring them soup or a Red Bull or something or whatever, and they're laying up in bed. Literally, I had a coworker who showed me pictures. He was fat as hell. I mean fat. No, not chubby, not robust, none of those man words, you know. He was just straight up fat. Fat on his cheeks, chin, everywhere. Arms, everywhere. Just fat. And I said, "Well, now you look like a damn supermodel. What happened?" He said his girlfriend broke up with him. He sat in the house and did not eat for weeks. Weeks. Couldn't get over her. Lovesick. He went from Jabba the Hutt, literally the guy looked like Jabba the Hutt in the pictures, to working in retail on commission. And a lot of commission work, they really like to have good looking people. So you can imagine he's at our high-end retail mall as a commission worker. Skinny, well, not skinny, but you know, toned, tall, lovesick. That's love sickness. You cannot tell me this isn't the same exact thing. Now they're saying, and I wanted to save this for a different discussion on a different video. Now they're saying they're calling people reacting to words, you know, over the overly sensitive liberal crowd, females reacting to words as PTSD. We do not understand the human brain, and we don't understand the human brain, the reaction between the brain and the body. They say you're addicted to sugar, you're addicted to fat, you're addicted to salt. Fat and salt are necessities for life. You will die if you cut out fat out of your diet. You will die. There is no like gray area. You will simply die. If you cut out salt from your diet, you will die. Just like you'll die if you don't drink water. Just like you die if you don't eat. You will die. And they're saying you can become addicted. Are they using this as a euphemism? But I think they are actually being serious. They put this in reports. Salt, fat, addiction. They're using this word, and they should stop using the word. They have an absolute no clue. And then they'll say, well, marijuana isn't addictive, but you can become addicted to marijuana. You see the doublespeak right there? So literally, I say, in my college level psychology courses that I have taken, in my estimation, the term addiction should be stricken from everything, from English. I don't think there is such a thing. Habit forming seems to be a much more appropriate way of describing all of that. Cocaine can be habit forming. If you are feeling down and you want a pick-me-up, your go-to product is cocaine. If you're feeling sad and you want to pick me up, your go-to product is ice cream. Now, they say sugar is habit forming or addictive, but in fact, it's not sugar that's addictive, because you don't go out and buy a 6 chocolate cake. You go and buy the specific product that you're used to buying. That's the habit. Maybe you have an actual thing for your drug dealer, and so you go and buy stuff from your drug dealer. And that's the habit. I don't believe in the word addiction. And they say, well, they go through as a defense, because this debate has come up before I ever said anything. Their defense is, well, you can see physical symptoms. You can see physical symptoms. You can hook up a child, somebody who hasn't really lived yet, a child, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, hook up their brain, and they will have the same exact reaction when you tell them no, they can't go to McDonald's, as the cocaine addict, quote unquote. They've already tested this. They've tested this with men and depriving them of sex. Same exact reaction. You tell me that cocaine has some sort of special property that your brain reacts in the same way. And here's the deal. They've hooked up women, gave them cocaine. In the other group, they gave them chocolate. Same reaction. Everything perfectly, exactly, specifically the same. Hooked them up to the machine, and that's what they saw. Chocolate and cocaine. Same exact thing. And they used the findings of that study to try and promote men buying women chocolate, which is that's kind of low in my book. That's kind of like you're trying to drug a woman. And between the two sexes, men do not have the same exact reaction for whatever reason. Men don't have that reaction, but they used that study to promote buying chocolate for women. It's just, I'll buy my woman a glass of water. That's about it. A free glass of water. I don't need that anyway. With this information, have I caused you to question this term addiction? Because they've done studies on other things that they said was not habit forming, that people supposedly got addicted to and must have. So the word doesn't have any meaning whatsoever. Literally, stuff that they said is not habit forming. I'm not talking about salt. I'm not talking about sugar. I'm talking about other things. Really obsequious thing. I mean, just stuff that is so innocent and unimportant. I can't think of it. I think like rye bread or something, stuff like that. Stuff that just is not even on the radar, not even the same football field as habit forming. We don't know enough about the human brain to say something is actually habit forming or addictive. I'll say habit forming. And then they said, well, the person has an addictive personality. They're addicted to gambling. No, they're not addicted to gambling. They're just stupid. Literally, I mean, they're stupid. Literally, I mean that they haven't put two and two together. I mean, and most of the gamblers know exactly the ins and outs of a casino. They know more about a casino, more about gambling, more about the game. They could tell you all of the odds and everything. Even knowing this, they still gamble. There's people who belong to religions that I know that they've heard were completely and utterly made up. Like Scientology, completely and utterly made up. They know when it began, they know who wrote the book, everything, the whole deal. And yet and still, they're still in that religion. They're addicted to the religion. They're addicted to gambling. No, they're just stupid. I don't have the power to do away with the world, but I want the world, people listening to me, to have understanding that a lot of things that people say, even scientists, even doctors, a lot of things that they say just simply is not true, has no basis in reality. Most of you listening didn't even know that there was a debate between calling something addictive. Some of you didn't even know that there was a debate about religion. And I don't mean from atheists. I mean from the internal religious world, that there is a Catholic apologist, that there is a Christian apologist, that there is a scholarly apologist, that there's a Roman apologist, that there's a Roman Catholic apologist, that there's an East Orthodox apologist. You didn't even know such a thing existed. And some of you don't even know what an apologist is. We don't know enough about the human brain, and I just want to get that information out to you so that you're a better adult, you're a better human, so that when people tell you this isn't addictive, this is addictive, this isn't habit forming, this is habit forming, that you can completely shrug it off and you can throw back at them, oh yeah? Well, they did a study and found that chocolate was just as habit forming as cocaine and has the same exact psychological, physiological reaction and chemical response as cocaine. That should close down that argument that day, right? Thank you for watching the Chicumba Live Show.